Good morning. My name is David Shenz. I'm the Vice President for Operations at ERP Suites. I'm really excited to be joined by Sean Mead, who is our Head of Security.
Good morning, David. It's really good to be here.
A common question, Sean, we also get from customers is, what is the difference between disaster recovery and cyber recovery? Many of our customers already pay for disaster recovery. Why do they need cyber recovery as well?
So actually, I think the simplest way to put that differentiation is the term ransomware. DR is I've had a natural disaster of some sort, or let's say it's not so much natural, it's a fire, whatever. If I have a facility that has gone down, then that's a disaster. Disaster recovery is where I need to bring back, yes, I need to bring back my computer system, my cyber infrastructure, but I also kind of have to have ways that my people can get in. Maybe it was a call center that went down. What do I do with that if it's a call center where I had people physically here? That building just went down for whatever reason. I don't care. It could be a hurricane, it could be an earthquake, or it could be a fire. It doesn't matter. I can't have my people there anymore. And that's where my systems were, however you want to look at this. So the disaster is more of it's an overall business disaster. I need to have plans on how to have my people, all of that. Yes, cyber recovery, or how I get my systems back up and running, is part of that. But usually that is understood to be a much larger project and something that is not where I'm worried about whether my backups are infected. Cyber recovery, in the way that we define that at ERP, is much more of not only are we going to get you back up and running quickly, speed being a big differentiator here between just simple disaster recovery and cyber recovery as we define it, but also we have that immutability that you had stated. These backups are good, they're clean, and we can bring them back very, very quickly. That's kind of the differentiator, that protection. The air gap being provided to make sure that ransomware can't go across. We usually think of disaster recovery as more of the building blew up, earthquake, whatever. Cyber recovery, in the way we are defining it, is much more of you've had a ransomware attack, so it really doesn't matter what's happened to your buildings or anything. None of your data is there anymore.
Yes, that's a good point, because when I think about disaster recovery, a lot of the technology is there. If I tried to recover using DR replication and things like that, all I'm going to do is replicate the ransomware and the encrypted copy of the virtual machine or whatever the technology might be. And now I haven't
gotten anywhere.
I haven't gotten anywhere, as you say. The other thing I think that you pointed out that's really good as well is I really need two separate kind of playbooks, right? Everyone has a playbook for disaster recovery. That's been standard operating procedure now since the 90s. But from a cyber recovery point of view, it's not only the enabling technologies like ERP Suite's air gap, but I also need the kind of the right playbook as well on how I recover. Is that a fair statement?
That is a very fair statement. These playbooks are actually critical, and having that difference in those playbooks, that playbook for the second one, or for the ransomware side, needs to include especially the understanding that you're going to probably look back and have to do some forensics to find out how far back you really believe it was before you were safe, and then you begin the process. Otherwise, as you said, we're doing hit and miss, and we could wind up reinfecting ourselves in a heartbeat.
And just like a disaster recovery, most of our customers test our disaster recovery, right? And same thing with cyber recovery. We should also test our cyber recovery as well.
Absolutely.
And that's
absolutely
playbook and the air gap technology as well, right?
Correct. In my opinion, something that's not tested doesn't exist.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
So now that we've talked about the difference between our air gap and cyber recovery and things of that nature, I think it's important for people to also understand that you don't know where you're going unless you know where you are. And it's very important to kind of get that general, where am I, in order to travel forward. I really do. I have to know exactly where I'm at. And that's where assessments come in. And David, I know you work with the customers an awful lot. And I believe that we can help them along this path as far as knowing where you are in a cyber environment.